redneck thing you've ever seen on a farm channel is somebody whittling some wood blocks for a combine. We're gonna think we got a new combine when we get done. If you get a chance, ask Robert about Idonna. Good Saturday morning. We have started reassembly of the combine. Finally got new bearings in here, our new shaft in. As you can tell, we did not put a new feeder house chain in. It may be silly not to put it in, but spent quite a bit of money on this combine, and I believe it's we can get one more year out of this feeder house chain. So we're going to keep running it. It's not that big of a deal to undo these master links and roll a new chain in. So we're going to rock on with this chain for another year. There's a couple slats we're going to straighten up. We're in a lot better shape than we was. Robert can come down there at the end, shine in there and see them new bearings. Right now I am putting these little hooks in, and they are a booger. Normally a chain master link just uses a cotter pin. Well, this feeder house is a real high area, wear area, and I've been told that over the years that a regular cotter pin will not hold up. So they send you these J-hook deals, and let me tell you, they must be made out of some hardened steel or something, because they are, I've about figured out how to put them in, but that first set was a chore. Like I said, it must be hardened steel so that it don't wear. But the best thing I've found to do is put it in there, tap it in there a little bit, bend it over with a set of channel locks, and then take a hammer and a punch and roll it around that pin. And that may not be the correct way, but that's how I've been doing it. Just slip it in there, roll it over, take a hammer and punch, and finish it. When I get this in there, I believe we will be ready to tighten the feeder house chain up, and at which point we may try to slip a concave in that combine today. I tell you, miracles don't happen because my wife didn't want to go to the lake this weekend, so miracles do happen. My wife's part fish. She thinks we got to go to the lake every single weekend. Alright, let's get let me get this last hook in. We'll bring you back for something else. There's some steel pieces in here in this feeder house. I call them knives. I don't know what the technical term is for them, but they go, see if you can come around. They go in between this feeder house chain and this sprocket, and this keeps, supposed to keep like green stem soybeans from wrapping around this top feeder house. Just make sure you got it properly set, that it ain't rubbing. I just kind of split the difference on it between the feeder house chain and this. Just make sure that's in place and properly secured. And and snug. I've done set that one, got this one set. I just gotta tighten it up now. Alright, we're over here checking the chain, or adjusting the chain tension on the feeder house chain. This is a chain, it's not got to be tight, but it does not need to be slapping around in there. Over on the other side, it gives a decal of how it needs to be tensioned. I always kind of just, I've kind of done it enough, I can just reach in there and feel. The decal tells where this chain needs to touch. It don't need to be touching the, it don't need to be touching the top sheet in that feeder house all the way down. So let me loosen it up a little bit and I can show you now. You'll be able to see in a minute how this chain starts coming up as a tighten. You can tell it better down there. See how the chain's starting to rise up off of that. I'm gonna say that's probably it. But go over and show them the decal.
About as clear as mud.
Yeah, they not the best at wording. And when I kind of get it tensioned like I want it, I come over here and look at my slot and kind of measure that slot and make sure I visually look at the chain inside, see how each side looks, and then I look at this slot and try to kind of position them in the same position. I think we about got her. I think this side could stand to be tightened a little more. But, I'll go through this, and at which point I will tighten this bolt, which locks it into position, and I'll tighten this bolt, which locks it into position. So I want you to look how bad the shape stuff is in, and we didn't know it. Right there where the chain was running, and right here is where it's at now with the proper amount of tension on it. That's how bad them bearings was down. I don't see how we didn't catch the combine on fire. I don't see how it wasn't making a racket in there. I was talking with my co-op salesman, and he come roll the combine with us cutting weight, and I was telling him about it, and he's like, man, you sure couldn't tell it running it. I about got her where I want her. We're gonna lock her down, and I think this feeder house gonna be in a lot better shape. We was gonna replace these cast iron pieces here, and this is the first time Worthington Ag Parts has ever let me down. I've been calling them for 2 weeks, and their yard man won't go. I know they got some, but I don't have to drive up there and wait for them to get it pulled off the combine. And I could pull it off, but I don't know why they wouldn't call me back. As much business as I've done with them over the years. But what I ended up doing, there was a lot of wear right here in this pivot point area. And what I did, I put JB weld in there, and I'm going to sand it down smooth. I don't know how it's going to work, but hopefully that JB weld, it'll be wearing on that JB weld for a while, and before it starts wearing back on the cast iron piece again. Robert put the new chain guides on. We got a new chain for this. Next year when we're doing our combine maintenance, we'll put new sprockets on this. We got a new chain to go on it, but we'll put new sprockets on it next year when we're doing our maintenance. So this is our Tailings auger shaft, and you can see how much it's wore down there. Let me go get the block that it rides in. It rides right here in this wood block, and you see how the block has gotten oblonged. It was just where it's rolled in there for so long. But what I'm actually gonna leave that. I'm actually gonna weld it up a little tad bigger than the actual auger is, and I'll take me a flap wheel disc and kind of knock the rough off of it. But with it just being a wood block, it ain't gonna matter. They got a bearing replacement for it, but honestly and truthfully, I like the old wood block better because you ain't got to worry about it near as much as a bearing failure. So wood block, it just starts wearing on the wood. If you have a bearing failure, you run the risk with a regular bearing, you run the risk of a fire. So I'm going to fill this shaft in, and we'll probably run a mic on this, and then what I'll do is I'll find an appropriate size hole saw, and I will straighten that hole out back in this block, and it should be as good or better than new. But I'll let y'all watch me weld on it some. I'll mess up since y'all are watching, but y'all can watch. Most redneck thing you've ever seen on a farm channel is somebody whittling some wood blocks for a combine. We're gonna make 2 of these blocks and double them up a little bit, or double them up. It's gonna be about 1/2 inch thicker than the old block. We went up there in my granddaddy's old woodworking shed and got a good piece of oak. My granddaddy was a carpenter before he was a farmer, and he carpentered, is that even a word? But he still did carpentry work up until he passed away. But it took a test piece or two, but we figured out the appropriate, the appropriate hole size to drill and everything for it. Take his flap wheel disc and slick it down a little more, but like I said, that may be the most redneck thing y'all ever see on the farm channel. It's us whittling a wood block, but I did not want to. We was gonna have to replace this auger if we put a regular bearing on it because it had so much wire. Well, we probably could have welded it up, but it'd have been a lot of grinding getting it perfect, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna slick that up just a tad more. Robert's gonna pull that one out of the oil and let it drip dry, and then he's gonna put this one in the oil and let it soak. Then we'll clean them up good. While they're drip drying, I got to cut that bearing off the end, get a new bearing for it, and then we'll be ready to start assembly. I'll get our wood block started in here, and that may be easier said than done because everything laying up in that hole is making it. Like we got that hung, so we'll get this one started. Bet that bolt slipped out of that. little bit of that one. It never can just be easy, guys. Look on the back side so you can see that easy. What does that look like?
I cannot tell a thing.
You got nanny muggins. Robert is threading the tailings auger back in. As he threads the tailings auger in, you can see it there pushing what weight was left in the combine out. Well guys, I was on the fence about them shoe augers. I thought I would, I want you to look at here at these shoe augers, the new augers compared to these. Yeah. We're gonna think we got a new combine when we get done. Well, most of the basic threshing parts are new. Well, that's where we're gonna leave you for Saturday. We're gonna come back and hit this thing hard Monday. Gotta go Tennessee Tractor Monday morning and get a few odds and ends and get on it again. It's gonna be a good hot 95-degree day. We spent our cool week in a cornfield in Indiana and on the road.
Yeah, on the road mostly.
2,200 miles in 1 week. Well, 2,200 miles in 3 days. It sucked. I mean, we had fun, but
Yeah, way too much fun one night.
if you get a chance, ask Robert about Idonna.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, easy.
Love that mower.
It's hotter than Blue Blazes in here. But it's tough. It's tough. 30-inch man and a 15-inch straw walker, and it just don't hardly fit.